Right, there it's playing now. I need to mute it so it doesn't come over there. Hi, YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube. It's not about YouTube. It's about this recording. 1, 2. Hi, and welcome to the 1010 podcast, episode 35. So tonight we've got 10 artists from around the world. Again, all going to feature one of their tracks. They'll tell us why they wrote the song, and then anyone who feels like reviewing it or complimenting the artist was going to do so. Coming up first, we've got Stefan Petranovsky. I hope I say your name right. Could you sort me if I'm not saying it right? Petranovsky from Macedonia. Yeah. Could you introduce yourself and why did you write the song Eros?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
It's great, the whole thing that you do, the whole podcast, and the whole support of artists is really, really nice. Really something that should be done more often by everybody. So great job on doing that. Yeah, in terms of the song Eros, it actually, when the pandemic hit, like 2020, around that time, actually here in Macedonia, we felt it around March 2020. That was the time when everything shut off. And I had lots of time to just be with myself and compose the music that I like. And yeah, so Eros is actually the song that hit off. Actually, that was the core element from my second album. And that is why the song is also self-titled as the album. Also the album, my second album is called Eros. And yeah, so the song was the bulk of the inspiration for the album. Actually, the album is a concept album based around the whole idea of Eros, Eros versus Thanatos and life versus death. And yeah, that whole philosophy is kind of the forefront of the album. So yeah, it's a progressive rock metal, I should say, that genre. I mean, I can't describe it with words, but if I have to pick a genre, it would be progressive metal. Let's say it like that. So yeah, it's an instrumental track. My forefront is guitar. Obviously, I'm a guitar player, but I like to do all sorts of stuff. So for this song in particular, I composed the track, I've produced it, I've mixed the whole thing. I've played guitar. There was another bass player, actually. His name is also Stefan. So apart from that, everything else is from me. And that was something that I like to do for my solo stuff because I am involved in other projects, in other bands. My main band, let's say it like that, is Station Innermost. And this, beside that band, this is my solo project, and I like to be involved in every aspect of the whole story. So yeah, this is the track, and enjoy it.
Dude, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Just a perfect way to start this show. Stefan Petranovsky with his amazing track, Eros. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. absolutely wonderful. Excuse my camera, the signal here.
Thank you.
Just absolutely top level, dude. Let's start with people up the top here. Joe, you're next, so I'll let you have the last compliment. It just makes sense here. So we'll go Mark Story, Tim Consley, then Russ Evans. Mark Story.
Sorry, Mark Story.
And welcome to the show, Mark Todd. I'm sorry, there's now two here. So I'll call Mark Story Redbeard tonight, and I'll call Mark from England, the other Mark from England, Mark Todd. Welcome to the show, dude. Redbeard, and then Whitebeard. Yeah, you know who you are.
Stefan, you're playing a 7-string guitar there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
straight away, I'm impressed. Is it difficult? Like with the extra, I know it sounds a crazy question, but just that extra string, does it make it different? Because the neck's a little bit wider, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I approach it as a different instrument. It's not like a 6-string is a one way of playing, a 7-string is a whole other approach. And yeah, when I play it, I think of in terms of as a different instrument, and the extra string may not be very different from a traditional guitar, but it adds something that's, I don't know, that octave plus that you get is very different, and you can approach it in many different ways. So yeah, it's different.
Yeah, well, onto the subjects of the song. The song's great. I love the opening licks you do. I love the way it goes full circle, and the opening lick becomes the closing lick. Some fantastic explorations there through rock, a bit of jazz, bit of fusion, you know. You're a very, very talented chap, very talented man. And your guitar playing is top of the pile. Really good stuff, mate. Really good. Nice one.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Well said, man. Tim Consley, then Russ Evans.
I thought it's funny that Mark Sparky picked out 3 guitars to start the comments with. So mad skills there, Stefan. Mad guitar skills, buddy. Yeah, I picked up a 7-string one time and gave it a shot in a music store, and I'm like, maybe I'm just too old for a 7-string. I just couldn't get the hang of it. Although I am proud that on bass, I graduated up to a 5-string bass, but I couldn't quite get the handle of the 7-string guitar. But man, like I said, mad skills. The song was great. I love the fact that the camera was close up, showing your hand movements and everything. You, like Mark said, you be right at the top of the echelon, so to speak. Awesome work. Good job.
Thank you very much. It surely means a lot coming from all of you. I mean, yeah, it's amazing.
Well, that's only the second compliment. We'll let people do the full houses. And see, the next 2 guests it's Joe's Groove Huddle, then Luna Cooper. And if any of you are in a hurry, just say, can I go next? And yes, the answer is yes. But for anybody who's got time, just take it easy, you know. But there's actually 4 Marks here. There's Mark Todd, Mark Allewine, Mark Story, and me as well. So I'll need to call you Allewine tonight, Mark, right? So Russ, Roy, then Allewine. Yeah.
Cool. No, great track. The guitar sounded great. I mean, there's not much more that hasn't been said that I wouldn't say as well. Great changes in the track. It sounded great.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Dude. Roy from the Ruby Starlings, what's your thoughts?
Hi, Stefan from England. How you doing, man?
Great.
Yeah, loved it. Instrumentals, they have to speak louder than words. And your song, your tune speaks louder than words. It's great. Beautiful. Great playing, great production, great arrangement. As a real drummer?
Actually, no, I've programmed the whole drums.
Okay. Yeah. I sort of heard maybe there was like some programming going on.
Yeah.
But it's great. Love it. Loved it, Stefan. Well done, man. Beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate your words so much.
Good job. Very pleased for you.
Thank
Well
you.
said, well said. Mr. Allewine, then Mr. Lee in Wales.
All right. So Stefan, first of all, great hair, man. Great hair. Love your hair. I I haven't experienced anything quite like that. You called that progressive metal, I think, and I heard I think Mark Story mentioned some jazz fusion in there. And I'm not a metalhead, but I was totally into your music, and I could listen to that all day long. I mean, so when you grab a guy who's not a metalhead and says, "Wow, I loved it. I could listen to it. I've already followed you on Spotify. I found you there. Your music's amazing, man. Keep it up. It's just fantastic. Way to go." I did love the changes in the music too. Where you went from the guitar over to the keyboard, and you were a little softer there, and then you brought it back in there. Really creative writing. Good job.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you.
Well said. Duncan, then Steve, then Lena.
Yeah, hi, Stefan. Well done. Really, really great track. Others have said kind of things I picked out. I heard the fusion thing there. I did think early on I was hearing a little bit of a Steve Vai influence, but it's not overt. And for, you know, an artist who describes himself as a metal artist, albeit progressive metal, it's not very in your face. It's quite subtle and chilled, which I personally liked. Sorry, I'm being attacked by my cat, so you better talk to someone else.
Me too. Me too. The cat was moving the camera stand there and stuff, but me pains in the bum. Steve, Lena, then Mr. Todd.
I can just attest to obviously everything that everyone just said. I am incredibly impressed by your guitar skills. As you can see, I'm trying, not near where as close to being as great as you are. It's always been like a mystery to me, you know, how great guitar players have such, you know, like incredible skills. And on top of just your performance, the guitar writing on the track was incredible. I know, you know, I'm not really a person who is into like metal or rock, but this track definitely would be like on my playlist that I would listen to at certain times. And it's difficult to get me to listen to, you know, things that are not in my, you know, like everyday type of like music. But my boyfriend is into this kind of music as well, so I'm getting more familiar with it for the past year. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I'm surprised I did. And just keep doing what you're doing. I think if people that are not even into a rock genre are enjoying this type of music, that means you're doing something right.
Thank you very much. It surely means a lot. And great guitar collection there.
Thank you.
Well said, well said. Mr. Andrews, then Mr. Todd, then Kaiser, then Joe.
Stefan, I have a word that hasn't been used to describe your music, and the word is eclectic. And I use the word eclectic because there were so many different like genres that I could hear in it. Somebody has said like jazz fusion. I was thinking of jazz funk. I was thinking towards the end there was a kind of orchestral sound coming in as well. So there was a whole mix of different sounds, different genres there. And I thought it was all absolutely fantastic. Really impressive work.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well said. Mr. Todd and Kaiser.
Yeah, Stefan, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed it. As I just echoing what everyone else has said, really. The composition was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, you've sat down, you've spent a lot of time composing that. It sounds brilliant. It's not the kind of music that I tend to listen to, but I could, yeah, that'd be on my playlist. I'd be listening to that. I find it refreshing, really refreshing. I really admired your guitar work from a guitarist myself and bassist myself. The drums sounded brilliant. Like you said, they programmed it, all fitted really well. What did you use for the synth? Is it just like a plugin, or is it a synth, like a proper outboard synth?
Well, yeah, it's actually combination of guitar processed with all different plugins to make it sound a little bit more synthy, kind of destroying the guitar sound and making it sound a little bit like synth. That was the lead synth actually. And as far as the lead, the pads and everything like that, I've used the mini Moog that comes with Analog Lab.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the core of my synth sound. But all sorts of experimentation with plugins, and yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's brilliant. Experimentation is my thing as well. Can't say how great it is. Really, keep going, and like, you know, love to hear more of your stuff. I'm definitely gonna have a listen on Spotify.
Thank you very much. Surely means a
Well
lot.
said, dude. Absolutely. And I'll just tell you all the now. Within a couple of days, you'll all have a personalised article, and all your IDs will be at the bottom. You'll all have your Instagram, at least if I can. If not, you'll all be able to click in your faces and add each other. So don't worry about finding each other. I'll put it in a plate for you. But well said, everyone there. Kaiser, then our next guest, Joe. This is a long round, and see, there may be 2 people that come to the show, but see, at the end of the day, I think we'll just make this an 8-artist show, because we all seem to be getting on here, and you know, I think that if there's 10, it might be too long anyway. So we'll just feature the 8 of the artists that showed up here, and we can talk as freely as we want. So Kaiser, sorry, dude.
That's all right, no worries. Yeah, really well done, Stefan, and I was loving to hear all the mixture of different guitar techniques. There's kind of a lot going on there, and it feels like it's being showcased in a way that's still lending itself to the song, rather than just the kind of sort of showing off one thing after the next. Are you a Dream Theater fan?
I mean, it's kind of obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I was definitely hearing that influence, and it's nice to see people kind of just moving forward with progressive metal as a genre, and doing something new with it as well. And you know, I think this is the first time I've heard an artist from where do you say you were from?
Macedonia. Yeah, it's in
From
Europe.
Macedonia.
Yeah.
So is there a big sort of progressive metal scene in Macedonia?
Actually, no. It's I mean, there is a scene. It's not a big one, but yeah, kind of. This is the sound that I imagine in my head every time I write music. It's sort of comes out this way. It's not that I intentionally write progressive metal just because I like progressive metal. Obviously, I listen to a lot of different styles. For example, I've studied jazz guitar. That's my that's what I have a degree for. But this is when I write music. This is what comes out. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, it was really refreshing. It's really nice. It's nice to hear something a bit different and something with a bit of an edge. And yeah, hearing something instrumental is always fun. I'm a huge fan of instrumental music as well. So congrats to you. Well done. It was lovely. I loved it.
Thank you very much.
Career's just going to go like that, way up. Joe's Groove Huddle, what's your thoughts here before we get to yours?
Yeah, Stefan, great song, really. I like it. And you're obviously a great guitar player, but you're also a good songwriter. I really enjoyed that song. The complete atmosphere of the song is great. So the synths in the back are really nice. And I really enjoyed those unisono parts where you play the bass and the guitar in parallel. That's great. That's really great. You change the tempo all the time, and that's great. I love that song.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Well said. Well said. Do you know, Stefan, you're destined for greatness, I believe. So thank you very much for coming on the show, and come and make the place your home and get all your songs, you know, reviewed. It's the fact that you'll get articles written about it, and we would love to help promote this track forever, ever. You know, a song's only old when you stop promoting it. That's a fact. You only promote your most recent track. Well, there's a big outfit here, and you're welcome to be part of it, as is everybody. So I'll just say that's the ones. Stefan Petanovsky, everyone. One love. Till the next time, bro.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Pleasure.
Appreciate
coming
your
up next. Hey, till the next time, dude. So coming up next from Germany, Joe's Groove Huddle. Could you introduce yourself, Joe, and the story behind your song "Believe Me"? Why did you write that? Yeah,
of course. Thank you very much, Sparky. Yes, I'm Jochen from Germany, and I'm the founder of Joe's Groove Huddle. Well, I'm a bass player, and I'm playing in several bands. And it's same as Stefan already said. In 2020, we had the pandemic going on, and all the live concerts were canceled. And as a bass player, well, you have a problem when you don't have a band to play live, because then you're sitting at home. And so I thought maybe it's a good idea to write some songs and to produce them. And I got into production. I learned it by myself. I watched some videos and I started to produce. And in the end, I made 4 songs up to now. And the name Joe's Groove Huddle, it tells the story, because Joe, that's me, that's my nickname. And the band is only me. And I'm writing the songs, and then I'm searching for friends to record their parts, because I'm just a bass player. I'm not able to sing. I'm not a good singer. So I need a singer, I need a guitar player, I need a drummer. And they are recording their tracks for me. And then I mix it all together to the final song. That's the story behind Joe's Groove Huddle. And the song Believe Me, which is featured today, it tells the story of, our times are getting more and more complicated. And people are searching for simple answers today. But simple answers, we learned, are not the best answers. And so it should warn, don't accept simple answers. Try to find a way to live with complex answers, because that's our life at the moment.
Oh, absolutely beautiful way to write a song. That's a beautiful reason. Believe Me by Joe's Groove Huddle. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love. Excuse me. Absolutely. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Just great. Well done, Jochen. Lena, you're the next guest, so I'll let you go. I should say ladies first, but it's just better if you comment now. You know what? Ladies first. What's your thoughts here, Lena? What's your thoughts?
Oh, well, first of all, I love the visuals. I love watching music videos, and I love whenever, like a cool song also has a cool visual to it. So great job on that. I love that. I loved the sound of like this like wah wah synthy funky bass that kind of drove the song. I love a great like driving bass line. That was definitely like my favorite part of the arrangement. Uh Obviously love the arrangement itself, the writing of the song. But yeah, it would probably be a song that I would put on early in the morning to have, to start my day on a great note. And yeah, great job on this one. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well said, well said. Kaiser, then Mark Todd, then Steve Andrews.
Hi, yeah, so as a bass player as well, I do obviously have to comment on that wicked wah sound that was going on with that bass line. It's just, tons of fun and just unapologetically bass forward, which I think is something that just people need, especially it really lacks in rock music. In other genres we see it, but I think in rock music that's something that needs to be embraced more. I also love a song that is commenting on sort of the disinformation that's going on in society now. I think it's something that's really important for people, musicians, whoever, to be talking about, because and you mentioned it about how things in times are becoming increasingly difficult and people are searching for simple answers, and it's just not this. Life doesn't work like that, and to hear you reflecting that in your music is really important, and to have it in such a fun package as well was really enjoyable. So thank you, Joe. Nice one, Johan.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well said. Brilliant comments. Mark Todd, Steve Andrews, and Duncan Lee.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Loved it. I loved the video. It reminded me of sort of like 90s sort of Chili Peppers or Jane's Addiction, something like that, along those sort of lines. But yeah, I love the lyrics. I love like how it was mentioned, the whole narrative of the video and what you're talking about. That definitely should be talked about more. That's, for me, that's what it's not all music's about, but you've got to say something, and why not say that? And I loved that. I thought the video is absolutely brilliant. It's a driving, so it's in the car driving down the road song. I loved it. It's brilliant.
Thank you very much. Well, I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so thank you very much for that comparison.
Well said, man. I love to see if I can just tell you to be friends forever already, just for looking at the two users are so similar. Steve, Duncan, and Mark Allowine. Steve?
I thought the video was brilliant. I thought the production was brilliant. And as a singer-songwriter myself, I listened to words, the lyrics, and I thought your lyrics were really good as well. So yeah, an excellent job all around.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well said, well said. Duncan, Mark Allowine, and Stefan.
Yeah, well, thanks to everyone who's spoken before for taking everything I was going to say. I too had this image of it being a sort of song you can kind of mosh to in the car, and that coming from a classical guitarist is quite a compliment, because I don't do much moshing. But yeah, definitely, again, the video is so important, because as someone who makes home videos, it is hard to get them looking professional, and that is a really top-notch job. So it's a great song with a great visuals. So well done.
Thank you very much.
Well said. Mr. Allowine, Mr. Petanovsky, then Roy.
So do you go by Joe?
Yes, that's
okay.
That's my nickname.
Yeah, so you did the video as well, right?
Yes, I did the video. I took some stock material, of course, because
right.
Yeah,
really. So first of all, great job on the video, like everybody is saying. I mean, it's a perfect video to go along with that. But the fact that you did that as well is something else. And like Lena said, that wah wah part there that you had on the bass was, if you were kind of looking down and just kind of listening, it was one of those lift up the eyes, like, really, did that just happen? Really fantastic writing, great selection of people to join you on this. So I mean, good ear for that. That vocalist was killer, and the writing, like Steve said, the writing on that song was impeccable. Way to go! I'm very, very impressed. That song is show ready as far as I'm concerned right now.
Thank you very much. It's also great for the musicians. You mentioned them. Yes, the singer is great. It's Eric Castiglia. He's from Italy. He's a great singer. And he also joined for Strong, another song of mine. He's a great singer. And also the guitar player and the drummer are great.
You're
Thank
here. Yep.
Well said. Stefan, Roy, then Ruz.
Joy, great song, great production. There's always something when a bassist throws a song, it just hits different. Like the groove is always as it should. I'm telling this in a guitarist perspective. So yeah, I really love the groove of the song. Obviously, the bass is something that's the forefront of the song, and it's really great composition. First of all, the production was great. Your bass skills are amazing. Like, yeah, everybody else said the sound of the bass, the wah-wah thing. I'm not sure what is it, a pedal or what's
It's a
that
pedal,
sound?
yeah. It's a very small pedal of I think Jim Dunlop pedal.
Okay.
But it's especially for bass guitars.
Yeah, okay, great stuff. I have nothing but compliments for the song. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Well said, dude. Roy, Ruz, then Tim, then Mark.
Hey, Joe in Germany, how are you, man?
I'm great, thank you.
Good to see you. Love the track. I love the drummer. I love the guitar player. I love your bass. I love the song, man. It's radio ready. Just get out there and send it to everybody. They'll play it.
I'm trying. Thank you.
I know. We're all trying, aren't we, man? We're all doing the same thing. I thought it was great. Lovely, great track. Really vibey. Great vocalist. And your bass playing was fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that feedback. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well said. Do you know how much I love bass? I've got two of my friends that are bass players and musicians in the music family that's drawn on the wall. There's one of them, Dr. Funk, and the other one, David Pistorius, is behind the television that I didn't move. Jaco Pistorius, his nephew, the legendary Jaco, yeah, his nephew David's. Hey, every bit is good, I'll tell you this, honestly. But sorry. Ruz, Tim, and then Mr. Story, then we're on. Lena's the next guest. So Ruz.
Cool. Yeah, just kind of echoing everyone else's comments again. Yeah, great track, great production. You can definitely hear that those videos you were watching on YouTube have paid off. I've done the same thing over lockdown, so I understand the kind of effort that has to go in for that. So nice job.
Thank you very much.
Well said, well said. Mr. Conze?
Yeah, first of all, killer bass in that. Like someone else said, that was a very bass forward, bass leading song. That's what gave it that special wow factor. And everything else was good. The band was so tight. I mean, the band sounded great. And I loved it when the drummer, he went from a boom, boom, pop, and then he'd go double time with the double bass. And I love a change in tempo within a song. It just kind of like, oh, well, it's going to be the same. No, here comes something different. And it's just, the whole thing was great. The video was great. Hats off to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, and thank you for, also in the name of the band, Christian Fier on the drums and Benedikt Staud on the guitars. They will like to hear that, yes.
Hey, Joachim, you need to come back on another time and bring them on. We'll do a special event for you. Mr. Story, what's your thoughts before we get to the third guest here?
Yeah, I mean, COVID gave musicians two options. We either took a hiatus or we developed our skills, which is what you've done. It's what I did. I've got to say that riff is outstanding. I just couldn't wait for it to keep coming back in again. You know it's coming back, but like you've got all that beautiful music in between, and then that riff comes in. What I find incredible is the fact that you basically wrote this song and you collaborated with these musicians, and yet you sound like a band. That's pretty special. You know, it didn't look like you were separate musicians. You looked like you were locked in. I really do like that track a lot. I echo what everyone else has said as well. I mean, it's outstanding. Good job, really good.
Well said. Well said. I'm just going to
Thank
say,
you.
Jochen, do you know that there's about maybe at least 20, maybe 30 artists in this family who are all up for making super collaboration songs, at least online, but we don't know where to start. You know, most of the people are middle-aged gentlemen. We don't, but see if you become close, maybe you can be the spark that makes this happen, you know. Hey, Jochen, Joe's Groove Huddle. Till the next time, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. So coming up next from California, we've got a lady called Lena Cooper. Could you introduce yourself, Lena, and why did you write the song I Kinda Wanted You to Stay? Oh, you're muted there, my wee dear.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. Once again, everyone has been super great, and it's super awesome to hear how, you know, attentive everyone is, and everyone's got everything, you know, something to say. That is wonderful. My name is Lena Cooper. I'm originally from Ukraine. I moved to the United States 6 years ago to go to Berkeley, and then I've lived in Boston, and then I moved to LA 2 years ago. So now I'm in LA. And I wrote this song about like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago or so. I was just actually hanging out with a friend of mine, a bass player, who was just like writing a bunch of bass lines and sending them to me as like loops to write over. And the bass line in this song was like the first thing that I've heard from him. And I heard it and I was like, I have to top line this and produce this. I love this song. Like, I have to make something out of this. So based on the bass line, I built the song around, I wrote it, I produced it. And the song is actually about the bass player that wrote that line, which is a funny coincidence. But and this was also one of the first songs that I've ever like kind of fully produced myself. So and the music video is super fun. I think all of my friends shot it. It was literally like a no expense type of thing. The only thing that we paid for was the car rental, which was $60 a day. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to hear and see everything.
oh, honestly, what a great introduction. Lena Cooper with I Kinda Wanted You to Stay. Enjoy. Ladies.
I don't know, you look too old for school.
Well, you look too Russian to be in the United States. What are we gonna do?
He thinks I'm joking.
I love you!
Okay, recorded.
You ask me out like you don't know the answer to the question hanging in the air.
Yeah, what's up?
I swear I could tell how it's gonna go then, but then I decided to make a turn there. Speeding cars and bankrupt bars, loud laughing Suffolk County stars, glass of bourbon, my music on, midnight cigarettes and muted phones, and I felt like I should just go. Yeah, I felt that till the moment when you touched me by accident. And if you think about it, could never win this game, but to be quite honest, oh, I kinda wanted you to stay. We'll forget about it right on the very next day, but in the precious moment, oh, I kinda wanted you to stay. Yeah. Oh, I kinda wanted you to stay. Yeah. Oh, I kinda wanted you to. We're talking this like I've known you forever. Sounds like tricky when we had a drink or two. My intentions change like the weather, so I let it go with one step towards you. to realize it's been written for so long. I don't need to think to know. Oh, I don't need to think to know. This is just enough for me to write a song. Say goodbye to you and go. Say goodbye to you and go. And if you think about it, could never win this game. But to be quite honest, oh, I kinda wanted you to stay. But forget about it, right on the very next day. But in the precious moment, oh, I kinda wanted you to stay. Oh, I kinda wanted you to stay. Oh, I kinda wanted you to stay. Yeah, it's fragile, but there's nothing to it. Can forget about what we've been through to stay. Just me and the kind of stuff I whispers to you soon, but you know it's a lie. It's fragile, but there's nothing to it. Can forget about what we've been doing. Just me and the kind of starlight whispers to you soon, but you know it's a lie.
Lena Cooper, everyone. Good morning. Fantastic. Fix that. Just wonderful, wonderful, Elena. I'm going to ask you a different question. What's next for you? Do you have any projects on the go now? What can we expect to see from you next?
Oh yes, I'm actually releasing a song on my birthday, which is Valentine's Day. And I've been doing that for the past 3 years. This song actually came out last year on Valentine's Day. So this year I'm dropping another song on Valentine's Day because it's my birthday. If you guys want to, you can pre-save it, but you don't have to.
Hey, I was just going to say, because it's your birthday, if you could come in and you wanted to feature it, you could come in and leave straight away because you probably got a party or something, or open the show and go first. We'd love to feature it if you wanted to, because I've got a show on the 14th. So that's just a little offer for you if you want to.
Sure, yeah, I'd love to.
Right, you're opening the show on the 14th for your birthday and Valentine's Day. That was done. Right, let's go from the top to the bottom this time. And Kaiser, you're next. And I was going to go Kaiser, then Duncan, the next two guests, if that's okay. So Mr. Story, then Mr. Consley.
Yeah, that was really well produced. Really well produced. I love the dynamics of the song. You know, it's just got lovely dynamics in it, fantastic rhythm, really good lyrics. The video complements it beautifully. You're a very talented song, very talented, very good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome.
Well said, well said. I'm just sorry you're the only female in the house tonight, but a bunch of nice gentlemen here. There's usually more girls than there is guys, but tonight you've been outnumbered. But
So it gives me a chance to stand out. That's fine.
Hey, no, you're a lovely person. Tim, then Jochen, and then Ruz.
Well, yeah, she stands out. I mean, she's the one that's brightening up the room right now. Without having to look at me and Mark's ugly mug, or Mr. Redbeard, I mean. Anyway, your vocals.
I thought you were insulting half the room there. There's 4 Marks in here, or there was. But you better watch what you're saying, Mr. Consley. Whitebeard. I'm only kidding. Continue, bro.
Yeah, but anyway, your vocals were amazing. They were so good, especially when you went up into the upper range. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, she can get up there. The song was cool. The video was great. I thought you did a marvelous job with the whole thing. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Well said, well said. Jochen, Ruz, then Roy.
Yeah, Lena, it's a very professional production. The video is great, the song is great, and I love what you're doing with your voice, because the voice is changing the color. It's changing from very high to very powerful, and that's what I like, because you don't have just one voice that you're singing with. It's a very great song.
Thank you.
Well said. Roy, then Stefan.
Yeah, no, it's a very professional production on the song. The voice sounded great. Very professional video. So yeah, nicely done.
Thank you.
Well said. Roy, Stefan, and Steve. Oh, you're muted there, Roy. Sorry. That's you.
Sorry. Yeah. Hi, Lena.
Hi.
Hi. Listen, honey, you're radio ready.
Mhm.
You are so radio ready. That was fabulous. You got such a great look, a great vibe, great song. You know, what do we have to do in this world to get ahead? You're doing it. Just
Thank
keep
you.
doing what you're doing, honey, because you're great.
Thank
Well
you so
said.
much.
You're great.
A beautiful, beautiful comment, man. Stefan, Steve, Duncan.
Hey, Lena, great stuff. I mean, great songwriting, first of all. And the video, what I've noticed is that the video matches the song in sound design term. It's really rare to find a song that's perfectly fitted for the video. It's really hard to get the balance between the two things to work perfectly together, and you've matched that brilliantly. Also,
Thank you.
great job on the vocal harmony. It's really amazing what you do. I mean, obviously the lead vocal stands out, but I love the harmony that you're doing in like behind the whole layers and everything. Great song, great song.
Thank you.
Well said. Steve, Duncan, Mark, then Kaiser, next guest. Steve.
Lena, Roy beat me to it with saying that it was radio ready. That's what I was going to say. It's definitely radio ready. It is what I would call a slice of professional, because it's very professional pop music, radio ready. And the video, fantastic. All of it was just professional.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
can I just say, Ruz has to go, so Ruz can go next if that's okay. No one else. I just made that order. Ruz, if you can hang around, you'll go next, brother. If that's okay with you, nice one, dude. If anybody's in a time schedule, just let us know, because you know some people are and some people aren't. Please don't feel awkward. So well said. Duncan, what was your thoughts? Duncan, Mark, and then Kaiser.
Yeah, okay, congratulations, really lovely song. What I've really enjoyed about tonight's show, the first one I've ever participated in, is the sheer variety of music on offer. Because I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm pretty guilty of listening to just the Rolling Stones over and over again. I love them, but you know, I'm not somebody who would automatically go out and seek out new music, which is a failing on my part. But whereas I haven't been overly enamored by modern pop music on the whole, I can actually imagine myself choosing to listen to that song for pleasure, because the word I would use to describe it is catchy. It's extremely catchy. And I think you said that the video was done kind of on a shoestring. And if that's the case, then I would never have noticed, because it perfectly fits the song. And it looks like something you would expect to see, on television or whatever, with a sort of commercially produced, big pop artist. So well done.
Thank you.
Well said, Duncan. Mark Todd, then Kaiser Cushington. And by the way, we'll go Ruz and then Kaiser, the order I was going to go. That's okay. Mr. Todd?
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant song. Well written, good lyrics. I love lyrics. Something that I focus on quite a bit. I'd like to see that song, I think, as a stripped back acoustic version. I can just imagine it sounding really good. And it was done on $60 just for the car each day. That's amazing. What cameras did they use to film it?
I just know it was what is it? Fuji. It's my
Right.
friend's camera. The only thing she had was like a hand stabilizer, and the camera didn't even really have any lights or like any extra type of equipment. So, and she's been doing like most of my music videos, and she's a good friend of mine. So like I just get her, like food. And if there's something that, she wants like as a present, I'm like, oh, let me get you like, I don't know, a new lens that you want or something like that. But she's incredible. And we literally didn't pay for anything.
It's brilliant. It's the best I've seen. It's the best I've seen by far for that sort of price. It's a brilliant video. I love like music like yourselves, where you actually, the way it's written, obviously accompanied with a video, actually feels like you actually could be there. You get that vibe of being in there. It's a beautiful song, really nice to listen to. Radio ready, as everyone said. I can imagine it on Radio 1 in the UK. And it's just, you've got everything going for you. It's cool.
Thank you.
Well said, well said. Mr. Kaiser?
So I'll mute myself there. Really nice. I think really catchy songwriting. I really liked your melodies. I also thought it was really well produced as well. Did you say you produced it yourself, Lena?
I did not write the bass line though. Yes, not the bass line. Everything else, but not the bass line.
Sure. Well, you've done a really good job. It sounds really professional. Your vocals sound great. And I loved your video. I've been to LA once, and I really liked it. And so watching your video kind of really sort of took me back there. And that was just a really sort of personal kind of connection that I had with the video specifically, which just, which was really enjoyable. And I just think your song totally worked. I also really enjoyed your sort of bridge section, the section that came after the chorus.
Thank you.
That was the highlight of the song for me, that part. I thought that's real. It really, you kind of took that pop thing and you sort of took it somewhere else. So I was really into it. Nice one. Congrats.
Well said, Kaiser. Well said. Lena, every day loves you to bits. You're magnificent. And I'll see you in a week's time then. You'll be opening up the show next Tuesday then for 1 year birthday, Valentine's Day, release of your new song. You have to do it. Lena Cooper, until the next time. Thank you, dear. Pleasure, pleasure. Coming up next from Bristol, we've got a man by the name of Ruz Evans. I'm sorry, I've just accidentally muted you there. Ruz, could you introduce yourself? Ruz, and the story behind your song, Rock With You?
Yeah. So, hello everyone, I'm Ruz. I'm a blues and kind of roots musician from Bristol. I'm kind of fall more on the swing Texas blues side of it. The way I kind of see it, there's enough people out there doing blues rock, and as great as it is, you don't need someone else. So I've always had a soft spot for the kind of Texas blues of Jimmy Vaughan and the big band swing of like Brian Setzer Orchestra and Gordon Goodwin's Big Fat Band and guys like that. So this song that is featured today is there's no music video behind with it, so I apologize for that, but this is the best kind of example of what I'm working to do and bring and what I love. It's from an album I was recording in 2018, and whilst I was recording the album, I felt like I wanted to capture that kind of Jimmy Vaughan sound with the full horn section and really go for that kind of swagger Texas blues feel. And it just kind of evolved and took on a life of its own as we were working on it. Lyrically speaking, it's more along the lines of the old school blues kind of love song type idea. But yeah, it's just a fun little tune I quite like.
It's absolutely brilliant, Ruz, honestly. And when you say Texas blues, we've got Tommy Krieger, Brad James Swallow, who I almost think you sound very similar to. You might not know them yet, but we'll see about Mark and Steve. And just honestly, and this is a brilliant track of yours, Rock With You from Ruz Evans. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. absolutely magnificent. Eh?
Yeah,
Just top level there.
Thank you.
I don't know what else to say. It's just wonderful. I've got a note to say. Mark, Mr. Todd's actually looking after a toddler, and it's quite dangerous. So he has to go next, and then Kaiser, if that's okay, because I know that Roy and Duncan were both okay for time. There's only 4 guests left, so if that's okay with you, Kaiser, just to go in second place again, because Mark here, toddler, will make sure, put you next. Nice one, dude. So let's start the comments going. Duncan, Stefan, then Kaiser.
Okay, yeah, loved it. The blues never gets old. A couple of things really stood out to me there. The vocals, fantastic, really powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And also what I find sometimes really makes the blues is if you do have that big kind of brass or horn section in there, it just adds that extra kind of sophistication and texture. And I love the dynamics with the volume swells. The guitar playing as well. To me, the solo sounded like it had shades of jazz. It wasn't just your kind of 12 fret pentatonic.
It was me and a friend of mine from Orange County that played there. So he was playing the first 2, and then we were trading licks at the end.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a nice little kind of nod to the American blues that I love, and being able to have a guy from there guesting on it. That's a dear friend. Definitely makes it more fun.
Enjoyed it.
Raz, you're world class, dude. Honestly, Stefan, what's your thoughts? Stefan, Kaiser, then Steve.
Great work, man. Speaking from a guitar player point of view, the guitar sound was great.
Thank you.
Great licks there. The solo was so fluid. Both solos actually were great. I love the brass section. Who is the musician behind the sax solo?
That's a guy called Sean McBride from Bristol. He's playing a baritone sax on that one.
Yeah, great.
He's very
great
good.
song.
Yeah, he's a very good player.
Overall, I love the track. Yeah, great work, man.
Thank you.
Love to hear the rest of your work. I will go and check it out.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Raz and everyone else, drop your YouTube links in the chat here. I mean, if you want to, feel free to drop your websites or anything. Kaiser, Steve, then Roy.
Hey, Raz. Yeah, so I really like that you kind of had a traditional blues thing going, but then you had that distortion on your voice.
Yeah.
Kind of modernized it a little bit, which was a really nice touch. For me, at least personally, like I really liked that about it. It kind of meant you had your own flavor to it. And yeah, for the solo, it sounded great, man. I didn't realize there was two players, but yeah, I guess you were trading licks at the end. But that was really cool, really added to it. And to comment on what Duncan said as well, it was nice. It wasn't all kind of pentatonic. You had some of those sort of bebop notes going in there as well, which just really which really pushed it forwards. And yeah, the brass arrangement sounded fantastic as well, man.
Thank you.
It was just really lovely to hear overall.
Well said, dude. Steve, Roy, then Jochen.
Russ, Sparky just said world class, and I would agree with that description. It's definitely like world class, very professional, fantastic production, great musicians, music, all of it. And what I was thinking as well was, if it was mine, I would, pitch that to, for films and TV, because I could see it, being a drama series or a film that wanted that kind of music for for the scene that it would fit. It's that good, as I say, Sparky said, it's world class. It's that good a production.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well said. Roy, Jochen, and then Tim.
Hi, Raz.
Hello.
Hiya. Yeah, I'm with Steve on that one. I think the whole arrangement, the playing, the tune. Did you write the song?
Yes, I wrote it and kind of arranged the horns with Sean McBride.
Yeah.
And just took it part by part. But yeah.
Raz, great man. Beautiful.
Thank you.
It's kind of, because it's such such an ingrained genre for musicians of our generation, big band and blues and bebop, all that stuff, it kind of filters down to today, and
Yeah.
we can all really kind of grab onto it and hark back
Yeah.
days when that was like the new thing. But this is new. This is still new, and it's wonderful. Well done, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, well said, brother. Jochen, Tim, Mark, then our next guest, Mr. Todd. There's two Marks on.
That's well done. It really sounds big, that song. And I think it's very difficult to arrange such a song sounding that big. And I really like the saxophone solo. That's great. And the distortion on your voice makes it really authentic, I think. That's really great.
Thank you. Yeah. It was more of a kind of recording trick rather than putting a distortion. So the guy I was recording it with had an old telephone microphone that he blue tacked onto the front of the microphone we were recording the vocal with and blended it in. And it sounds great. So
that's great.
That
So
isn't
it's kind of saturation you have, yeah.
yeah.
As they would say in Germany, wunderbar. Hey, Jochen.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, man. Tim, Mr. Story, then Mr. Todd, the next guest.
Definitely had that Brian Setzer orchestra feel to it. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a compliment. I love Brian Setzer all the way
Oh,
back to the Stray Cats. So, yeah, I mean, the guitar, the tone was just absolutely dialed in perfect for that song. The orchestra was fantastic. The actual lyrics for the song, great. Just the cohesiveness of all the instruments and everything, that was just top notch. Great job.
Thank
brother.
you.
Great.
Thank you.
That's it. Mr. Story, then Mr. Todd.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of weird, really, because when I was listening to it, I don't know why, I just had a vision of Keith Richards going, "Yeah, baby." Right? I don't know why. It's just like everyone said what I echo what everyone said. It's a really authentic sound. The distortion on the vocals, like, I mean, that wasn't distortion, but you've explained what it was, but that really makes it sound. It's just so. I watched a movie a little while back called Jazzman's Blues.
Okay.
Check it out. It's a really good movie. I can imagine that, as Steve Andrews said, he could imagine it in the film. I could imagine it in that film for sure. I also, I think the only thing that no one's really touched on is I was quite impressed with your artwork.
Oh,
it
thank
really
you.
draws you in. I noticed it this morning. I was going through the playlist, and it caught my eye straight away. That whole thing just went, that is a really good image. So you didn't need a video. The image was great, and it gave me a chance to close my eyes and just get into it. And I loved every second of it. It's right up my
Oh,
street.
thank you.
I knew that Tim would love it. I bet he was bopping away. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's really good what you're doing. It really is true to the blues. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well said, dude. Well said, man. And before you go, Mr. Todd, we can definitely have a blues dominant podcast one night, and we'll invite all the blues artists. So Mark's, Tim, we'll take a wee plant a seed and we'll do it next couple of months or something. Mr. Todd, what's your thoughts before we get to your section?
Yeah, I loved it. Makes you want to go and, I mean, I've played in blues bands before. It just makes me want to go and listen to blues again. And I found it original, for what it is. And I loved it. I found it, everything about it's quite warm. The recording, I love the vocals, and the horns really, really made the track for me. I want to go and listen to more. Yeah, I think it's great.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Me too. Well, Mr. Russ Evans, thanks for coming on the show. I've been your friend on Facebook for a little while now, and yeah, you're more than welcome to come here and make this place your home. And Russ Evans, until the next time, dude, have a wonderful day. The rest of your evening. Sorry, I know you're busy. So, Mr. Evans, thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Pleasure, dude. Pleasure. So at this time, halfway through the show, it's 4 people gone, 4 people to go. I like to just stop the show here. Stop the recording and just simply start it again, because just in case something goes wrong with it, it's better to be in 2 parts. Hi, and welcome back to the 1010 podcast, episode 35. Coming up next, we've got from England, Mr. Mark Todd. Could you introduce yourself, Mark, and the story behind your song, Feel Like a Hurricane?
So, my name is Mark Todd. I'm from Nottingham originally, lived in London, now live in Manchester. So I've lived all over, played in loads of bands, psychedelic bands. I've played in a little bit of jazz, a little bit of blues, a little bit of indie. I play primarily really by myself now, acoustic, folk, indie, I guess. The song Feel Like a Hurricane, I released it. I've had another release since that, a more recent release in January, but that the Feel Like a Hurricane was released last year. It's just a really good song that I, really proud of. I think it's the best song that's on the album. In terms of writing, it was one of those songs where it was written really quick. I wrote it really quick, went to like a local open mic near myself when I lived in Archway in London, played it, went down really well, carried on working on it, and then recorded it all myself, as most of the album is me apart from the drums. It's a song that everyone likes, and it's a song that I like playing, so yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
Well, dude, I know they will, because I sent the playlist to all my co-hosts, and everyone loves all the tracks that's featured Mark, and this is a brilliant track. Mark Todd, everybody, with Feel Like a Hurricane. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. One last.
Waiting for thunder, calm before storm. Waiting for the rain, sky turns grey, and I forgot the rapture. See the fire on the horizon, wind blows smoke through the fire in the distance. In the distance, feel like a hurricane. Nothing's gonna slow me down. Feel like a hurricane. Nothing's gonna stop me now. The heavens open over the ocean. Wind lifts the waves on the tide as it rides high, and it roars. Like a hurricane. Nothing's gonna slow me down. Like a hurricane. the waves on the tide as it rides high, and it rolls. Hands open over the ocean, wind lifts the waves on the tide as it rides high, blows you away.
That's a Mark Todd, everybody. Welcome to the show, brother. Mark, I've been talking to you for a while now. I'm just happy to have you in the show, dude. And you know, I told you about the namesake things. Two of my friends back home are called Todds, and I'm Mark. And I just always, I don't know, Mark Todd. I want to extra help you just because of your name. I don't know why, bro. But you're absolutely fantastic. And our next guest is Kaiser. So let's do the round from, let's go Jochen, then Mark, then Roy.
Yeah, great work, great song. I love that atmosphere in that song. It's a great beat. It reminds me a bit of some songs in the 90s. Maybe some Placebo or something like that. It's the same feeling, and I really love that organ also you have in the background, and this guitar, this Western sounding guitar like Quentin Tarantino or something like that. That's great. It's a great atmosphere.
Yes, thank you.
Well said, Mr. Story, then Roy, then Stefan.
Well, it's just a great song, isn't it? I mean, it just delivers the goods. The video was outstanding. I've got to say, it really kept me. I was like, it kept me kind of transfixed. The concept of the video. She's obviously an Uber driver, yeah, and all that stuff. But yeah, I really liked it. It's got a certain something that if you try to create it, recreate it, you wouldn't be able to do. It's purely coming from you. And yeah, you've got a really, really unique style, and it's a really good, unique style. And I look forward to hearing more music from you for sure. So awesome work, friend.
Nice one, yeah. Cheers. The video was done for free, luckily, on Facebook. Someone put an ad on one of these musician websites, and there's just a local company during COVID said we'll do a video for you. So luckily they got involved, and that actress got involved as well. So I was really lucky just to get that.
Yeah, it's very professional. Very, very professional video. Really good. Nice one. Yeah, loved it.
Cheers, mate.
I said, Roy.
Hi, Mark. Hi. Well done. Beautiful. Good job. Quintessentially English.
That's what we like.
Don't we? It's great because it defines your music and puts it geographically on the
who I am. It's who I am.
Yeah, exactly. And it came across. It's a great track, great song. I love the video. I love the whole the tremolo guitar going on. There's a lot of great elements to the song, and brilliant, mate. Well done.
Cool.
Power to you.
Well said. Well said. Stefan, then Steve, then Duncan.
Great work, Mark. I love the whole atmosphere of the song. It kind of reminds me, as Jochen said, a bit of the 90s, that vibe, like Radiohead, but more energetic vibe. I love the melancholy with a bit of hope. It gives me like a rainy spring day, that vibe. Yeah, it's really great. I love it. There's always something about those type of songs. It grasps the attention, and I've watched it basically like a movie. The whole video with the music, it's like a whole product. It's I didn't looked at just like music from a listening perspective. I've also saw it as a whole product, as a video plus music. Like a short movie, if I can say it like that. Great work, loved it.
Cheers, thank you.
Well said. Steve, Duncan, Tim, then Kaiser.
Mark, what I thought and what I noticed about it was it definitely had a kind of a 60s feel, which people are saying about the 90s. There was a whole lot of bands that came in the 90s, very successful, that were kind of harking back to that 60s feel. And you mentioned like the psychedelia. So there's that psychedelia feel to it. There's that 60s feel to it. And that sound, in a way, would never go away because the songs from that era are still successful today. And anybody who is kind of reinventing that sound has got like a successful sound there. And that's what came over to me. I thought that was really something really impressive in the song. And the video was also amazing. And one thing I liked about the video was when it started, you didn't really know what was going on. You thought, like, you know, where's this going? What's happening here? And then it unfolded into like a story that you were following. And there was the song going as well. So you were getting like a double kind of whack of being impressed. You were impressed with the video, impressed with the song. And as I say, there was that psychedelic edge to it, which gave it the edge, you know, which was like, yeah, you know. And so the whole thing, to me, fantastic.
Nice one, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely got a 60s undercurrent.
Yeah, yeah.
Well said. Duncan?
Yeah, okay. Just to echo what someone said earlier about Raz's video, kind of about the whole television thing. Obviously there was a story in the video itself, but it was almost as if that was made to be the incidental music for that particular drama. So, you know, that was, you know, really, really powerful. I thought the way that the music and the video combined. I'm with Stefan on the whole Radiohead thing, and I totally understand the whole 60s to 90s link. But yeah, that, you know, despite obviously not being quintessentially English myself, I do have a soft spot for the Britpop movement of the 90s, and that kind of brought that back for me. So thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, I'm happy with Radiohead. Any mention of Radiohead's always good.
Tim, then Kaiser?
Yeah, I agree with Steve. I think it had a lot of 60s feel to it. And I think that's probably because of the use of the tremolo on the guitar. That is a great effect that doesn't get used as much nowadays as it really needs to. But that made the song, I believe. That made the whole vibe of the song. And the song itself was great. The video was fantastic. Good job. Great job.
Yes, thank you.
Well said. Kaiser, London?
Yeah, I will be repeating things that people have said, but yeah, I thought the video was really powerful. I also really loved that tremolo guitar. And I think just overall your personality really sang in the music, and it did have that Radiohead. It was kind of like an up-tempo Radiohead with a little bit of Stone Roses kind of going on there as well. So it definitely had this sort of Britpop mixed with psychedelia sort of element. And yeah, I just really liked the overall tone of the song, and I thought I liked the way it just kept moving forward, you know, and it was just no, there was absolutely something to that. And yeah, I love the kind of how British it sounded. It was really good.
Well said, dude. Well said. Mark, Todd, everyone, you know, till the next time, brother. Go and see it to your children now, and thank you for being a marvellous guest. And it's been a very high level tonight. There's only 3 guests left: Kaiser, Duncan, and then Roy. So thank you, Mark, Todd. Right, so coming up third from end, we've got Kaiser Cushington. Could you introduce yourself? And I believe you're the bass player in the band Lend Me the 12. And
Yeah, so I'm the bass player and lead singer, and sort of main songwriter. I actually wrote the guitar part to this song as well. So this is Devil's Avocado by my band Lend Me the 12.
Nice.
The idea of the song, the idea for the title, it was one of those songs that came with the title first, right? We had a friend who was always such a contrarian. He would always argue with us about everything. So we started, you know, he's like a devil's advocate. And as a joke, one of my mates called the Devil's Avocado. And that was just something I found really funny as an expression. And then I kind of eventually sort of took that to kind of refer to the Devil's Avocado as like the feelings of self-doubt and, you know, stuff like anxiety and depression, thing that we have inside that hold us back and that bring us down. And kind of almost associating it in this way with that, the different emotions that you feel, and the different types of feelings that you have and thoughts that go through your mind are like the different fruits of life. And I kind of sort of personified the idea of a devil's avocado in that way, which Just kind of, yeah, it is, you know, it became something quite abstract, and that's just the type of stuff I really like, you know, especially with lyrics. I like doing something that's a bit abstract in left field, and you don't necessarily know what it's about when you're listening to it. And yeah, it's just sort of a kind of post-punky. So yeah, there's a lot of lead bass usually goes on in our music. This is one of actually the ones that's not as bass forward. But yeah, it's all there. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Without further ado, if you're not acquainted yet, you're going to like it. You're going to love it, actually. Lend Me the 12 of the track Devil's Avocado. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
I feel right. I feel ready. The devil's avocados got me questioning myself, and I feel strong. I feel steady. That juicy green pitching monster is not the only thing that I eat. Now I feel strange. I feel hungry. I need to eat. I need to feed the beast. I know I'm here on Earth. I took a bite of the snake's apple and things got a bit too real. I'm a knight of the earth. The fruit that it provides us gives me all I need to be my mind. Now I feel strange. I feel hungry. I need to eat. I need to feed the beast. Now it feels doesn't nourish your soul, then you must be there, you must relieve it. I know you'll find the strength to let go. My devil's avocado, my devil's avocado, my devil's avocado.
Brilliant track. Top level. Kaiser and his band Lend Me the 12. Just great track. Duncan, you're the next guest, so we'll go you the last compliment here. Tim, Steve, then Jochen.
Yeah, great song. I really liked it. Had an unusual beat, but I mean, I absolutely loved the whole song. The video was great. You're an awesome bassist,
Thank you.
and yeah, it was just really great. 2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
It makes you feel happy. It's a very catchy tune. I swear, man. It's like mega. I've only heard it 3 or 4 times now, but it's really stuck in my head, bro.
Thank
Which
you.
is a good thing. It's a good
Yeah,
thing if that happens.
I would hope
Steve,
so.
Jochen, then Stefan.
Kaiser, I thought that was a fantastic track you had there. Like basically, I like the way the tempo changed. I like that there was all kinds of different stuff going on, and yet at the same time, it was all being held together. And so for me, it was a clever song, and I just really liked it. So yeah, great job there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well said. Jochen?
Yeah, so it's a very great song. It's very complex. You have a unique sound. I never heard some sound like that before. It's really great. It's your sound, and it's sounding absolutely great. And it's a complex song. I love that.
Well said. Well said. Stefan, then Roy?
Great stuff, dude. I haven't listened to anything before from your band, but it from when I've heard this, I have to say that I'm a fan. Great stuff. Yeah, I love the 10/8 time signature divided. That whole thing going on. I mean, I don't know how you describe the genre of your band. Would you say?
It's a complicated one. It's very much like an experimental rock is usually what I say. But yeah, we do lots of stuff like where we're counting in 5s and 7s, but I try to make sure it's still groovy rather than trying to make you sit there and figure it out, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I love the Afro vibe of the thing. Like, yeah, it's you can say it's rock, but there's really some Afro beat type going on. It's great. Love the whole thing.
Cheers.
Well said, man. Roy, then Duncan, our next guest.
Hey, Kaiser. Hey, Mark. Dynamics, man. Wonderful. The dynamics in that tune were just, took my head off, because your bass playing, the guitarists, the vocals, everything about it was just great. Great song, great performance, great video. Well done, man. Kaiser, you're doing it.
Cheers, thank you.
It's been a great show. Duncan, what's your thoughts there, brother?
I'll start with a question. Do you play that live?
Yeah.
Did it take a lot of practice?
Yeah. I mean, all of our songs are a bit of a pain in the ass to play live. Like I will say that one's particularly when we put the idea down, it took a while to get it the way we really wanted to sound. But like we do it now, we're just kind of very comfortable with it. It's really fun. It's a fun one to play.
Absolutely. I mean, I was mega impressed, but I got to be honest. I mean, the way that the rhythm was so sophisticated and with those cross rhythms and off time signatures, but yet it still sounded totally natural. To me, that, if you can pull that off, that's really something special.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really the intention, and like we've worked really hard to kind of put that in that place. Like I say, to have different time signatures, but without making people feel like they're having to count, or So yeah, it means a lot. So just quick, I come from a Brazilian family. So like what you mentioned, Stefan, about hearing this kind of Afro influence, and even the time thing, a lot of that comes from that heritage there.
Well said. Mr. Story, did you get a comment in there? Did I bypass you? All span round. Did you get to say something?
No.
Mr.
Story,
oh, please, yeah. It just all span round. So please, I was just looking at him. He's not said anything yet. So. What's your thoughts, Mark?
Right, okay. So you're not so much pushing boundaries as putting a stick of dynamite underneath, just blowing those boundaries up. And you haven't, there's easily accessible music, and then there's music that makes you think, yeah. And so if you love music, you explore those territories. As a listener, you explore those territories. It really kind of reminded me of Primus, that kind of Primus vibe. Yeah. I'd imagine Les Claypool's quite an influence on you.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. I've got to say, I heard it first thing this morning, and it's a bit too early in the morning for me, really. But I listened to it again, and I'll tell you what, I'm comfortable with that tune now. I'm really into it. Musicianship's great. What everyone else said, I echo. But full marks to you for not only trying something different and not taking the easy route, but also for pulling it off with such panache. Because it's class. So good work.
Yeah,
Good
I
work.
appreciate
Good
that.
work.
Man. Thanks.
Makes you think. Makes you think. It's good.
Well said. Kaiser, until the next time, brother, I know you'll be back. His band Lend Me the 12. Kaiser, Cushington, what a great name that is. You know, you did promote your normal
Yes.
name. Till the next time, brother. Thanks very much.
Thank
Two
you.
guests remaining. Hope you can all hang around, but anyone. Coming up next from Wales, Mr. Duncan Lee. Could you introduce yourself and the story behind your song Flamenco Funk? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Duncan Lee. I'm a guitarist from South Wales. I play classical guitar and in an acoustic folk duo called Tanglejack. Tonight you'll be hearing a composition of mine called Flamenco Funk. That is for the classical guitar. At risk of going all guitar nerdy on you, it's based on what is basically a melodic minor with a flattened second degree. So the backdrop to it is the previous composition I've written called Dawn was hated by quite a lot of people who heard it and loved by very few. And I realized the problem with it was that the best bits didn't come till later on in the piece. And even though the introduction was necessary to generate those more exciting bits that came later, it made me appreciate the importance of grabbing the listener from the off. So I intentionally tried to come up with something quite rhythmically in your face to start this piece off. And I kind of thought, oh, that's what I came up with. Sounds kind of like a funk rhythm. And I blended that with that scale I just mentioned, which is more of a sort of like Spanish-y kind of flamenco-y sounding scale. And even though I'm not a flamenco guitarist, I kind of heard that sort of sound to it. So it kind of uses the parallel minor chord harmonies of funk and that kind of flattened second degree you get in Spanish flamenco music. And the result is what you're going to hear now.
Duncan Lee, it's fantastic, bro. Honestly, you're a wonderful, wonderful musician. Flamenco Funk by Duncan Lee. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Fantastic. And you know, it's like some of the most suspenseful music that I've heard in a long time. It's like gripping. It would be great in the background of some movie or something like that, you know, when you're suspense waiting and stuff happening. Well done, man. Let's go with Mark, then Steve, then Stefan. In case I forget you, Mark. Yeah, Mark Story. You're the only other Mark left. The other two have had to go. Yeah, man.
Oh, great. I'll get to speak first. Brilliant.
Yeah. In case I forget you again.
Oh, how could you forget me?
Oh, no.
Yeah, do you know what? I've said this before. Someone's actually mentioned it again tonight. The beauty of this show is you get a chance. If you're an open-minded musician, you get a chance to listen to so many different styles and genres. You know? And it's an education. And that song was an education in fantastic guitar playing.
Thank you.
I think it's awesome the way you constructed that, played it, presented it. I love the little slide downs you did as well. They really caught my ears. But I really, really enjoyed it. It's class. Really, really good. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well said. And I think he's just teasing us as well. I think you can do some really crazy stuff. So, yeah, Duncan, you're not too far away. I'm going to say something to Roy, and it goes out to you as well if you're still here, but I'll wait till it's Roy's section. Steve, Stefan, then Jochen.
Duncan, I just thought that was an amazing composition, because that's what it was. It's a composition, and there was so much in it. It went from one part to another, and then maybe back, and then somewhere else, and then it was just incredible to listen to. And something that Sparky kind of touched on there, you know, the suspense in it, and you know, maybe that it would be suitable, you know, for some atmospheric music in a film. I could see it working that way. So yeah, I'm just going to say again, an amazing composition.
Thank you. It was a bit of a breakthrough piece for me because it was the only one it was the first one I've had that was accepted by a publisher. So that was really amazing. And I managed to land a gig supporting John Gomm off the back of it as well. So that was intimidating, but great as well. So
well, you know what? I'm not surprised. It's well deserved. All of that you just said. You know, it's a fantastic piece of work there.
Thank you.
Stefan, Jochen, and Kaiser.
Duncan, great work. As a guitar player, I love the guitar work, great skills, and actually I would love to learn that composition. Yeah, really, really great voicings in there. The augmented sounds, I mean, really something that I haven't heard before. Great job.
Well, I'm more than happy to send it to you if you would like. So the music, the sheet music. So yeah, thanks, man.
That would be great. Thank you.
Friendships, love it. Jochen, Kaiser, Tim, then our next guest, Roy. Our final guest of the evening, Roy, if we can all hang around. Jochen?
Yes, Duncan, congratulations. It's a very impressive work that you do there. It's very impressive guitar play, very, very quick in the end. The tapping was great. I never heard a tapping before on an acoustic guitar. I did not know.
Sorry, carry on, sorry.
Yes, and I think you're telling a great story. In the middle of the song, it's going down, it's going slow then, and in the end you have an explosion again. So you have confidence, something like that. It's really great. I like it.
Thanks. I mean, the tapping was totally unintentional. That just kind of came quite naturally. But yeah, I guess it's unless you like Nuno Bettencourt at the end of More Than Words. It wasn't intentional. I wasn't trying to be clever or anything, but it just kind of came. It seemed to grow out of what had gone before. So yeah, thanks for listening. Cheers.
Sorry,
Kaiser?
I've been a little bit unwell today, so I'm just having to eat something now. Yeah, no, I loved it. So I mentioned being Brazilian before, so I'm a huge fan. These aren't flamenco guys, but the kind of samba solo guitar, classical guitar guys, Baden Powell, you know, Yamandu Costa is someone who I really love, and I just love the way there's something that I just find so profound about compositions on a guitar, the way you can kind of cover the melody and the harmony together. And I think you've just done that really beautifully. I loved all the arpeggios. Yeah, I love the kind of voicings that were going on, and the way that the harmony kind of told your story. It was just really wonderful.
Thank you.
It's a real delight.
Well said. Well said. Tim, Global Director, Mr. Indiana.
Yes, Duncan. For one, I always admire classical guitarists and the way they handle that 2-inch fretboard. My hands and fingers are not that big and long. I had a classical guitar just for a few months, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm working too hard trying to play this. So I really admire those who can. I heard a lot of different influences in that composition. Like you've drawn from a lot of different places. A couple of parts, I even heard you do some Chet Atkins style finger picking. The part where
Yeah.
you're playing the bass dum, 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 with your thumb and picking out the lead with your fingers. That, I mean, I grew up playing that. So I recognized that immediately. But I just, all throughout that composition, I'm hearing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you wove it all together so great. It was fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well said. Roy, also in Cornwall.
Hi, Duncan. How you doing,
Hello.
man? Oh, hang on.
Yeah, good, thanks.
I'm muted. I thought I was muted. I'm envious of your arachnid fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it always fascinates me with guitar players. I have friends who play guitar who just seem to, you know, all the fingers go in the right places at all the right times. And you're one of those. You're one of those players. That piece was beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. And it had some kind of juxtapositions within it that made it even more listenable. You heard things in it that made you go, oh. It's that
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's great. Lovely.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that in it.
Well
Thank you,
said,
Duncan.
Roy. Duncan, I've been talking to you for a long time as well, and I'm proud to have you here, bro. And you know how this show works now. You know, it's best to put a couple of hours aside. To be fair, you're more than welcome to come and make all your songs. You know, get them all featured. And Duncan Lee, everyone, until the next time, because I know you'll be back. One love, brother.
Cheers. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Oh, pleasure's mine. Pleasure's ours, actually. So coming up, final guest of the evening, and he's the closest man to me. He's from Cornwall. His name's Roy, and his band's name's Ruby Starlings, and that's one of my daughter's names, Ruby. That's a very special name to me. Could you introduce yourself, your band, and the story behind your song Blink, brother?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Roy. I got a little band, myself and my buddy Will Williams. We've worked together for many years now. He's a multi-instrumentalist, but mainly he's a drummer, and I'm a songwriter. So we've been working together for, as I say, quite a while now. And this song, it doesn't have a video, I'm afraid to tell you. So you just have to listen to it. But we've been working together for the last year or so, putting together our little duo called Ruby Starlings, recording our first album, which is called Attempted Murmuration, a bit like Attempted Murder, but different. And this is the first track off that album, and it's called Blink, and it's about the fact that the older you get, the quicker your birthdays come around.
Hey, magnificent, dude. You're such a lovely, lovely man, and your music's great. Blink by Ruby Starlings, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ruby Starlings, everybody. Fantastico. Just brilliant, dude, just brilliant. And because Duncan's still here, and they're both close by, I'm going to say this to you and Duncan. Do you know, before I done these shows and had a music family or whatever, before I was an electrician, but I started making videos for a bass player called Dr. Funk, and he's had like 200 or 300 million views, and I've took about 90% of the videos that made him famous on my phone. I'm an avid cameraman, and see if I make a video of you, I'll be sitting there auto zooming in all the way through. I offer my free services for any gigs you've got, Roy, to come with my partner Kirsty, and we'll make videos and promote the life out of you. And Duncan, if you want to put us up for the night, me and Kirsty could come up and do the same for you, or if it's 50 miles radius, we would come. And I'm going to start doing my videos again because I absolutely love it. And before everyone comments here, you are all wonderful guitarists here. Even the guests you haven't seen tonight, Steve, Mark and Tim, they've got about 50 appearances between the three of them. But tonight is different. I'm going to treat you with a surprise if you are still all here after this round of comments. But let's start with Mr. Redbeard, Greenbeard, Whitebeard. You know who that is.
Yeah, Roy, I've got to say, you're one of the most positive and effervescent people, effervescent people on here. Your personality shines when you're just talking. You just seem like such a lovely
Oh,
guy.
man. I want to give you a hug.
Oh, anytime, baby. That is, do you know what? I nearly forgot to unmute myself because obviously I wasn't watching the video. I was just bopping along to the song and I had my eyes closed and I was completely transfixed by the song. I nearly forgot to unmute myself. It's such a catchy tune. It's got a bit of a Tom Petty groove to it.
Hope so.
Oh, good. Oh, that's a compliment. I think Tom Petty is amazing. But man, that's one hell of a tune. It's catchy. It's uplifting. It's just great. And the subject matter, you know, I was listening to the lyrics and, you know, blink, there goes your life. And yeah, 100%, man. Because when you get, no disrespect, I mean, I don't know how old you are. But
We're not that far apart, I'm sure.
You get to that kind of stage in your life where you go, do you know what? I'm going to enjoy every second. And you
Too right, brother. Too right.
Absolutely. Every time. Nice one.
Do you know
Thank
what?
for sharing.
He's a typical person for Cornwall, just so happy and lovely and nice. Honestly, the Cornwall people
Yeah.
are beautiful here. And Roy's just typically that, you know.
Oh. Thank you, Sparky.
Cats, man. Steve, Tim, then Stefan.
Roy, what Mark just said, it's for me, it's a catchy song. It's a positive song. It's kind of upbeat. It's just sounded great. The lyrics were great. I love lyrics because that's what I do. I write songs, you know, my words come first. I love lyrics. And I could really relate because, as you can see, I'm getting older. You know, in fact, my next birthday is coming next month, you know, and a year used to be a long time, but it isn't anymore.
I know.
I completely relate. I loved it. Blink, what a great song.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well said. Steve, is it not? It's not your 70th, is it, Steve? As you muted yourself, but it is. Well, we're having a party for it, unless you're else occupied, eh? You're muted there, Steve. Could you unmute?
Yes, it is. It's my 70th, isn't it? My next birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you very
listen,
much.
with your pleasure, with your blessing, sorry, we'll have a party and everybody here is invited for a start.
That sounds good. Yeah, thank you, Sparky. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's talk about that. Well, we'd love to do a dedication night for you because you're a legend. And 70, most people won't even live to that age, but you're still fighting fit. Do you know what I mean? If you've not seen Steve Andrews on Britain's Got Talent, check it out after this. Was that in his presence? Yeah, you were. Honestly, legend. Tim Consley, then Stefan, then Kaiser.
Yeah, that song definitely I can relate to. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Blink, there goes your life. I could have swore just yesterday I was 35.
Yeah, man.
In 8 weeks, I'm going to enter into my last year of the 50s, and next year I'll be 60.
You don't look
and
at it.
And I'm like, where did it go?
Yeah.
I got grandkids now. I can remember when my girls were that little. And so, but it's a great song. I think it's a song tons of people can relate to. It is like everyone else has said, it is a catchy tune. Great chord progressions in that. I just all around loved it. Was it you singing? You sing the vocals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great vocals on that. It very well fit the song. Just a great job all around. I love
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Well said. Stefan?
Yeah, Mr. Roy, great song. I love that your personality comes forward in the song. There's something about it. It's uplifting. I love the lyrics. There's real poetry right there. I mean, every song has lyrics, but when it's genuine and from the heart, it kind of stands out. And yeah, you've done great job. It surely is a classic.
Oh, thank you, Stefan. You're a kind man. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's it. Duncan, Kaiser, then Jochen.
Okay, I think the biggest compliment I can give you is that with when all the other tracks were playing, I was listening quite critically and intently, thinking, right, okay, I can say that, I can mention that. I didn't do that with yours because I'd zoned out, because I was just chilling and listening to the music and enjoying. And the lyrics only hit me at the end, and I realized that this kind of like chilled out, kind of like mellow tune I was listening to actually has quite a bleak message in it. So well done on combining the kind of the very kind of feel good music with the actually quite dark lyrics. I like that touch. That's great. So yeah, well done. Loved it.
Thank you, Duncan. That was kind of my remit.
It's like country, but not quite so twisted, because country music has banal, cheerful music, but with these horrific lyrics, it wasn't quite as like black and white as that. But it really hit the spot in the middle. So well done.
Thanks. Thank you.
Well said. Kaiser?
Yeah, I mean, there was just like a real purity to that song, you know, it just felt like that was totally you. And it was just really fun. I kind of pictured like freeze frame, credits start rolling over, you know. It just really gave me that vibe, like the ending of like a saga or something. And it was just really it was really uplifting. I'm glad we saved it till last.
Oh, bless you.
Really nice note to end on.
Thank you, guys.
Well said, well said. Just before you say something, Joachim, do you know, just whatever project you're in at the moment, that's not all that you can feature in this show. You can come back on and feature anything that you're proud of the past, but, you know, so it's not all about promoting your most recent track here. It's about, who are you, Roy? What have you done in the past? And come out and feature all your tracks and everyone, you know, and Mark Story's in a band. We've not even featured one of your band's tracks yet next week. But before we get there, Joachim, what's your thoughts, brother, before we end this night a very different, special way?
Well, Blink is going to be my favorite song for the upcoming summer. It's such a good mood. Those backing vocals, they make the sun rising, yeah? I saw it sitting in a convertible, driving around the beach.
Yeah, man.
Great song, really 80 vibes. I love that. And then this halftime part in the bridge, that was also great. You have some speed going up and then going to that halftime part. It's great. Really, really nice song. I love that.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Well said, well said. So, Roy, I know I'm going to be your mate. We need to hook up soon as. Let me know about your gigs. Roy from Ruby Starlings, everyone.
Tomorrow night, Bodmin.
Tomorrow night, Bodmin. I've got another show tomorrow. I've got one of these shows Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with 10 new guests in each one. So that's what we do 3 times a week. And at the weekends, we've got 20 family members on a Saturday and open mic it's Sunday, but we're going to do one staggered Saturday, Sunday, huge events, and they're free and they're just brilliant. But Roy, I'll try and get to Bodmin. What time is the gig tomorrow? That's not possible.
7 o'clock onwards, but check for everybody here, please come and check out Ruby Starlings. You'll find us on Bandcamp, you'll find us on SoundCloud. Yeah, we're all over the Facebook, everywhere.
Roy, honestly, dude, as I say, I let's go to a beach in the summer and actually sit and play a few tracks, and I'll make beautiful single videos for you, free charge, hand them to you, and we can make articles. Roy,
you got a deal.
A great friendship. Ruby Starlings, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to end the show by saying something. Kaiser, unmute the now. How do you know Dr. Funk?
Oh, well, I don't know him personally. I've just seen his videos.
Right, well, let me just end this one night. The reason why I'm in the music industry is because I met Dr. Funk and one of his friends, Seabone. And honestly, I was an electrician with my own business back in Scotland. And I've not seen my 2 little girls for about 10 years, right? And it's been really painful and done my head in really bad, you know, to the point I was suicidal, And I don't know if you understand it. But anyway, I met Dr. Funk and Seabone and I started making videos of them on the beach. We randomly met each other and stayed in the same backpackers. And I made the videos, the first one overnight at 7 million views of Dr. Funk, right? But I'm not going to promote my mate Dr. Funk tonight because he's already made it. He's an absolute superstar, right? But see, the other guy that we met there is Christopher Hogg, Seabone, right? Him. And see, he's got about 1% of the notoriety that Dr. Funk's got, and I'm using all guitarists here, and this guy is the best electrical guitarist that I've ever been in the company with in my entire life. and I'm going to play a song for you all. And if you want to leave during it, it's fine. If you can, it's impossible for me. It's a long track. And if you like this guy, he can do anything. He's got the best blues voice as well. He's going to cover Little Wing, Stevie Vaughan style, guitar and the voice. Wait till you hear Seabone, who's in the same band as Dr. Funk, as is Smokey and Jake Landers, who have also got Johns off. And for all their talents, they're wonderful. These two guys are the best I've ever seen in my life. But check out Seabone, Little Wing, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to leave during the show, but if you could stay around to Seabone will see it, it is just world class. So that's enough intro. Seabone, Little Wing. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy. And it's a long one.
Well, she walking through the cloud with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and moonbeams and zebras in a fairy tale. She said, she come to me with 1,000 smiles. She only gives to me 3. But it's alright, she said it's alright. Take anything you want from me. Anything.
Sorry, I was muted there. That was a 14-minute track, and that was only 5.5 minutes of it. But that was my friend Seabone. Would you like to comment quickly on what you thought of that, Roy, Tim, and Jochen? It's been an extra hour, this show. Roy, what was your thoughts on Seabone's skills?
Yeah, he's got the chops, hasn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you know, I actually lived with him and his girlfriend for 1.5 years before I met my partner, Kirsty. You know, so I'm very close to him, and yeah, he's mega,
Yeah.
you know. But nobody sees what he does. He just jumps about doing 50-pound gigs, and he's only got about 2,000, maybe 5,000 followers or something. But he can do wonderful stuff. Jochen, what was your thoughts?
Yes,
Jochen?
it sounds really great. It was an awesome guitar play, of course. It's outstanding. I don't know how to play such clean guitar.
That's Seabone 4 on Facebook if anybody wants to check him out, because he'd make anybody's band better. Honestly, he is a guitarist in a few bands, and known as the best band in Cornwall, the Big Sets. Seabone's the main singer for it. He does all the headliners. Roy, he done on the headlining stage of the Boardmasters in the summer there.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, yeah, but the Cornwall's got them in their great, but he should be known. Tim, what was your thoughts before we end this show? It's been magnificent, everyone.
Well, that's one of my favorite songs, and of course, Stevie Ray Vaughan is my favorite blues artist. He's the one that got me hooked on blues, so I'm very familiar with his version of Little Wing as well as Jimi Hendrix. But what's funny is that Seabone follows along really close with Stevie Ray Vaughan's licks until a certain way through, and then he cuts loose and it's all him. I mean, he's not copying nobody's licks. He's just playing what he's feeling. I know that. I can tell by the expression on his face. And he's world class.
Yeah, absolutely is. So, guys, you know, I've got an unstable connection. I thought I'd crash there. Thanks for staying to the end. It's been an extra hour. This is just the way it show goes. Roy, Jochen, Tim, everybody, all the guests tonight.